members of our Talking Sex group. Hello, happy Tuesday. It's noon central here in the Midwest. I am traveling today, getting ready to jump on a flight. It's just here in a few minutes and travel to see my fiance, spend some time with her, do some important work over the next couple of weeks. Heading out, and it reminded me, actually, my beloved Paige reminded me, hey, let's talk about this idea of intimacy from afar. Now, as some of you may know, we are in a long distance relationship, right? And at the same time, it doesn't often feel that way. And it's because Paige and I make it a really, really, really important part of who we are and how we connect by keeping that intimacy very, very close, regardless of whether we are in the same geographical space. And it can be challenging. It can be really, really challenging. Keep in mind that intimacy, right, is involving so many different things. So many different things. By the way, welcome. Thank you for being here live. If you're watching this later, hashtag replay, let me know that you're here. Share with me in the comments so that you're here. Hello, Terry. Hello, Catherine. Thanks for jumping on. So it's super important because it can go one way or another when it comes to intimacy from afar. And by the way, the intimacy and sexual connection with your partner or spouse doesn't necessarily mean it's a separation geographically. It could be emotionally. It's super, super important that you remain tethered, connected to the intimate connection with your partner. So whether geographically or not, if you're disconnected from your partner or your spouse for a time, is to remain connected in many, many different ways. Now, for Paige and I, we flirt all the time. We flirt in really, really creative ways. We flirt with text messages and pictures and innuendo, and I will leave it just there. Won't go too far. Want to keep our privacy. But at the same time, it's really super, super important that we lavish one another with those flirtatious moments. And we understand that both of us may not be in the same space at the same time, especially when we are separated geographically. I'm currently here in Kansas City. Paige resides in Nashville. And when we are not physically together, sometimes we're in really different spaces energetically. And it's super important to understand, to be open and receptive and curious before critical when those communications are happening. FaceTime, text message, video, Marco Polo, you name it. It's super important to find different ways. Instagram, we love sharing specific content with one another in a flirtatious and very loving and sexy way. At times through Instagram, we find things and we send those, and that is a specific way in which we communicate that brings us closer together and keeps that tethering so powerfully important. So when we do come together, the love, the passion, the intimacy, the sexual connectivity is there for us. And sometimes, and most often, builds as we generate and get closer and closer together geographically. And the same thing could be true if we're emotionally disconnected. If we're living in the same house, in the same town, and we're engaged in a relationship with your spouse, that we remain that thread of tethering, that connectivity. You find ways to flirt. Whether you've been married, partnered for a year or for 25 years, it's super important that you find ways to communicate and that you're on the same page. So even though you may not be sexually connected, you might not be sexually active, you might not be sharing intimate moments together, in those moments, that you still remain connected and do ways and find creative ways in which to do that. Maybe it's sharing letters, little love notes, Post-its, right? Little memes. We love doing that, right? There's so many super, super, super powerful and creative ways in which to stay connected when you are separate from your partner. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for jumping on. So, just a short little tidbit of D-Layered here. I'm in Kansas City at the airport getting ready to jump on a flight, and we will see you really soon. Thanks for jumping on here live, friends. Remember, even though you may be disconnected geographically or emotionally from your partner, it's super important to remain connected on an intimate level. Communicate, 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 and find ways in which to remain connected intimately as you are apart. Thanks for jumping on, friends. If this seems important to others that you may know, you can certainly share this or invite them to the Talking Sex group. We'd love to build this group where we have deep, intimate, powerful, and very mature conversations about sex and intimacy. Thanks for jumping on. If you want to know more about how we provide support, coaching, work in trauma-informed spaces, let us know and send us a message, and we'd be more than happy to set up a discovery call and let you know how we can provide you support potentially for your moves and navigations through sex and intimacy, relationships, life, career, all of it. Thank you so much for jumping on. Have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye bye.